A Disney Channel movie.
Summer.
Why am I feeling so?
And you're watching Disney Channel.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
You're watching Disney Channel.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
What you dream of, a fantasy before your eyes. Step right up on the stage, free yourself.
You gotta stretch like you mean it. Free your mind, it's not enough just to dream it, come on.
Many of us grew up in a time when most of our entertainment came from a television, cable to be exact. No phones, no social media. We always had things targeted towards us, so we can then go ask our parents to buy us whatever it was. In modern times, cable is almost non-existent, and streaming services are everywhere. It is like there's not really anything aimed towards kids ages 9 to 14. That's a rough estimate, but you know, that age when you're too old for Barney and Friends, but too young for Gossip Girl or even Secret Life of American Teenager. For us, Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, but we will discuss them another time, filled that missing void in kids' TV. They knew what audience they wanted and they went after it, thus giving us some of the most iconic shows, movies, music, and celebrities that would go on to achieve even more as they phased out of the network. Today we're going to take a deep dive into how Disney Channel truly changed a generation, maybe even two. The Disney Channel aired nationally for the first time in history at 7 a.m. on April 18, 1983, launching its first ever shows Good Morning Mickey, Welcome to Pooh Center, You and Me Kid, Contraption, Donald Duck Presents, and Epcot Magazine. These shows were cartoon and live action storytelling, but this was prior to the Disney Channel airing commercial breaks, so these shows would either be a full 30 minutes or a full hour. Good Morning Mickey would air for an hour on weekdays and only half an hour on weekends. The Disney Channel was trying its best to figure out how to reach their target audience. Trial after trial, they never suspected that it would take 2 decades before they reached the jackpot. In 1997, the Disney Channel went from a premium channel to a basic commercial-free channel and dropped its "the" and simply became Disney Channel. But that is not all Disney was changing. They were stepping up their game. The design of the channel was changing, the logo was changing, and now we get introduced to the first ever Disney Channel original movie, or DCOM, Under Wraps.
Tomorrow night, it's a Disney Channel original movie, Under Wraps.
The spirit of the mummy may be freed by the purity of the full moon and loosened to walk the earth.
And he's walking your way on Disney.
That's a mummy! Cool! What are we gonna call him? How about Harold?
And it's up to these 3 kids to help him find his way back home.
We don't have much time, right, Harold?
Under Wraps, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only on Disney Channel.
Side note, this movie is not on Disney Plus. I searched. They only have this 2021 version. So what's that about Disney? Let's fix that. Anywho, though it's not as memorable as other Disney Channel original movies, this is important because it is the first ever DCOM. Like, what if Disney Channel never made original movies? Where would we even be today? Now, this video is about how Disney Channel changed an entire generation, technically 2, and the original music of Disney Channel's original shows and movies. But up until this point, the only show the channel had that showcased any music or singing was the all-new Mickey Mouse Club, which aired in 1989. This show included stars like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, and Justin Timberlake. Disney Channel had missed their opportunity to make money with these stars, and they definitely had a meeting where someone made sure this never happened again. And the show ended on March 7th, 1996, ending with the old era of the Disney Channel. And all the stars went on to become multi-platinum selling artists. Disney was doing a lot of rebranding and revising to the channel. It was still without a true identity. It was still even figuring out its mnemonic sound. They were going with this sound for a while. But most importantly, there's no musical movies or shows in this era. They had many live action shows airing to their audience, but they needed a staple piece, and this piece would approach the channel in the near future. On January 25th, 2002, Disney Channel aired the 21st episode of Season 2 of the Even Stevens called Influenza the Musical. The show is about a family living in California, but it focuses on 7th grader Louis and his older sister Ren and their clashing personalities. Louis is the slacker and the goof of the family, whereas Ren is the very smart, determined one. One day the writers of the show were just throwing out ideas and decided they wanted to do a musical episode because 1, most of the cast had a background in Broadway training, and 2, it's something they've never done before. They never imagined what phenomenon would come from this one episode.
All I know about the space program is that the guy went to the moon in 1969.
Good enough. Go!
Well,
We went to the moon in 1969. Not 1968, but a year later. Went to the moon in 1969. Not 1970, but a year sooner. We went to the moon in 1969. That's when they made a landing that was lunar.
We didn't go up to the sun or stars.
Could this one episode be the very thing that led to the Disney machine? This is life-changing history. Because of this one singular episode, the creators at Disney already knew what they needed to do, thus birthing the first ever Disney Channel original movie musical, and it was an instant hit.
Friends help friends make their dreams come true.
You're a cheetah girl because of what's in your heart.
You're not the boss of everything.
The Cheetah Girls.
Don't you guys believe in what we have?
Coming in August, only on Disney Channel.
Disney Channel aired The Cheetah Girls on August 15, 2003, a movie about a teen girl group trying to follow their dreams in the city of New York while navigating their own personal lives. We get to meet the characters and their backgrounds throughout the movie. We have Galleria and Chanel, who are longtime best friends, Dorinda, who is the dancer of the group, and Aqua, who seems to be the fashionista of the group. If you know, you know. The movie produced some of the most iconic songs that were also available for purchase. The Cheetah Girls soundtrack was released on August 12, 2003, and reached number 33 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and was certified double platinum by the RIAA. The movie was so popular that Disney decided to sell merchandise too. We had Cheetah Girl toothbrushes, backpacks, notebooks, lunchboxes, fashion lines, and so much more. Prime Disney Channel was slowly but surely on its way, starting with the Disney Channel finally locking down its mnemonic sound.
Hey, I'm Demi Lovato from Sunny with a Chance. And you're watching Disney Channel.
The iconic four-note melody, composed by Alex Lazarenko on September 30th, 2002. After all the Cheetah Girls' success, we actually don't see another musical movie or show until 2006. Well, they had that one That's So Raven musical episode.
Well, a gimmick, so I'm about to make y'all feel me. Take a piece of me and keep it made a world be ready. Bounce.
These halls I was in will soon be buzzing with students and teachers and jocks in their sneakers.
Disney Channel released many great shows and movies from 2003 to 2005. That's So Raven and Lilo and Stitch in 2003, Phil of the Future in 2004, and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in 2005. All great, but none of them are of that musical essence yet. The only original movies released in that time frame was Stuck in the Suburbs, Pixel Perfect, Xenon Z3, Twitches, and many other films. And although some of them had soundtracks to accompany them, most of them went unknown and unrecognized. Nothing compared to the Cheetah Girls, so Disney Channel put their heads down and started to cook something.
Any last-minute sign-ups? I'd like to audition, Miss Starbus.
I'll sing with her.
Troy Bolton is not in my show.
You're the team leader, not a singer. Do you ever think maybe I could be both?
We're breaking free!
High School Musical, coming in January on Disney Channel.
New Year's passed a couple weeks ago. It was a nice day in the town. The birds were chirping. The air was crisp. It was Friday, January 20th, and there was going to be a new Disney Channel original movie on tonight. No one, and I mean no one, knew the immense change their life was about to have on this very Friday. The entire world changed forever this day at 8/7 Central.
Come on, move it, let's go!
For the East High Wildcats,
We are days away from our biggest game of the year.
basketball is everything.
Wildcats is ahead again!
You are so dedicated.
But when their star player steps off the court
Any last-minute sign-ups? I'd like to audition, Miss Starbus.
and onto center stage,
I'll sing with her.
We're soaring, flying.
he'll show the entire school there's something to sing about.
Is this some kind of joke?
You're the team leader, not a singer.
Do you ever think maybe I could be both?
We're breaking free.
soaring,
Flying.
Our team is coming apart because of your singing thing.
High School Musical, a Disney Channel original movie.
The world premiere of the Disney Channel original movie High School Musical aired on January 20th, 2006 to 7.7 million viewers on the network. A movie about a star athlete who plays basketball, falling in love with a girl who's new to East High, who's also super nerdy. They both auditioned for the school's play, which doesn't make people happy, literally because they wanted to sing along with their other extracurricular activities. People were not happy.
I bake. Someday I hope to make the perfect creme brulee.
All their friends tried to sabotage them and make them focus on their one activity. But the main antagonist is also out to get them because they are stepping on her territory. The movie was a massive hit and the songs were even more massive. And of course, available for purchase. High School Musical, the soundtrack, was released on January 10th, 2006 and became the best-selling soundtrack of that year, having sold 3.7 million copies in the US alone. As of January 2016, it has sold over 5 million copies, making it the best-selling TV soundtrack since 1991. It was so successful, each of the main characters went on to have short-lived solo music careers, and some of them are still very relevant today. But Disney Channel was not done. They had something in their pocket, an original show that would also change and introduce the Disney machine in its most perfective form. But first, I think we need to rewind a little bit and take a look at Disney Channel's first attempt at this so-called machine. Lizzie McGuire aired on January 12, 2001. The show is about a 13-year-old girl who faces personal and social issues with her two best friends, Miranda and Gordo, at her junior high. The show was accompanied by a soundtrack, a movie, and a movie soundtrack. However, it was mostly just the songs featured in the show, including various artists, but only one song sung by Hilary herself on the soundtrack. Hilary Duff was probably one of the very first products of the Disney machine. Although she didn't sing in Lizzie McGuire, she definitely was making music behind the show, and she sang in the Lizzie McGuire movie.
I could almost kiss the stars for shining so bright.
Hilary Duff's first album was a Christmas album called Santa Claus Lane. It was released on October 2002. It reached number 154 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold by the RIAA. Her next album was released in 2003 titled Metamorphosis. It was a hit. With singles like So Yesterday and Come Clean, the album was very successful, even becoming a breakthrough release for Disney Channel's label, Hollywood Records. Hilary Duff went on to have a very successful music career, even outside of Disney. She made the company approximately $135 million with her music alone. Disney knew they had something there. They felt they were close to perfecting their secret formula.
She's got family, she's got friends, and oh yeah, a few million fans. Meet Miley Stewart. She's one girl leading a double life.
I'm Hannah Montana.
Miley Stewart is Hannah Montana. Disney Channel's new original series, Hannah Montana, rocks on the Disney Channel next month.
Hannah Montana aired on March 24th, 2006 to 5 million viewers. The world was introduced to Miley Stewart, played by Miley Cyrus, a normal girl by day, but a superstar at night. She was living the best of both worlds. Whenever she threw on her blonde wig, she was Hannah, but without the wig, she was regular old Miley Stewart. The show was accompanied by a soundtrack. The Hannah Montana album was released on October 24th, 2006, selling over 2 million copies, and it was the 6th best-selling album of that year. This show was massive. It had 4 seasons and accompanying soundtracks for all those 4 seasons. Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus went on multiple tours throughout the show's run. Hannah Montana got its own movie and a soundtrack to accompany the movie, as well as its first single being The Climb. Miley was booked. Miley was busy.
Miley, what's good?
She had given it her all, but she was sick of it by the end of the 3rd season of Hannah Montana. But Miley Cyrus made the channel approximately $400 million over her intense 5 years with them. Talk about money, talk about selling. Disney Channel knew that they had a formula too good, and they knew they could replicate this formula again and again and again, and they did, as much as they could. The formula was so good, the competition saw this and acted on it immediately. We had all these options of shows, movies, and music to listen to as kids that today's children don't get to experience. I'm sure it has to do with the rise of streaming services and social media, but they don't really have anything targeted towards them. They don't get influence from shows or movies, they get it from social media now. Change is inevitable, but there's no music for that specific age demographic. It's like either Cocomelon, Paw Patrol, or music from TikTok. That's it. And maybe there is some and I just don't know, but representation matters in all aspects. And I feel like we need to bring back shows, movies, products, and music that's made for tweens, I should say, or just older kids that are not teens yet. In modern times, many of us still enjoy the music we used to listen to back in our Disney Channel days. And I feel like every generation should be able to have something as big as Hannah Montana or the Cheetah Girls or even High School Musical that they all collectively remember when they get older. And of course, every generation has its nostalgia, but ours kinda hits a little different. Disney Channel went on to create sequels for the Cheetah Girls and High School Musical, and Disney knows how to outdo the doer. Because why were the sequels always better than the original? Like we all know High School Musical 2 is way better than the first one. And same with the Cheetah Girls, because they literally go to Barcelona. It was iconic.
Oh my goodness, have you ever seen anything that was too perfect?
No, that's not something I'm gonna find in my guidebook.
Kind of my bed. Easy, girls.
But they did make more musicals in general. They also released some more music-based shows, sticking to its finalized identity. The Disney Channel filled a market that was in dire need. They capitalized many different ways off of one single person, and they did it multiple times. But those people always went on to have huge careers after they phased out of the network. Hopefully, the demographic of children one day get something like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon.
You stay here with the baby and bye. I'm gonna go downstairs and make sure mom and dad aren't suspicious.
Something that's just for them. I know this video was kind of different, but I enjoy a good deep dive, so naturally I had to make one. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If not, well, tomorrow is April Fool's, so, but other than that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Ooh. It's time for my bed. Yeah, it's time for me to go to sleep.